Hi everyone. Today we're going to discuss overcoming the fear of flying. Flying on an airplane is an amazing experience, and for me, it never gets old. I love the fact that I can get to a faraway place in a matter of hours, and in some cases would be impossible to visit without the ability to fly. The fear of flying does affect many people. Supposedly, statistics say up to 25% of people have a fear of flying. Fear of flying can stem from a lot of different things: psychological, emotional, or even past experiences. A lot of this stems from, fear of lack of control. It could be fear of heights, turbulence, claustrophobia, fear of the unknown, fear of death. It could also be general anxiety. There could be many factors that make up your fear of flying. Here are some interesting stats. Approximately 4.5 billion people fly each year. Did you also know that modern planes are designed with multiple redundancies? This means if one system fails, there are others in place that will automatically compensate for anything that goes wrong. So that is definitely some reassuring information if you didn't know that. Fear is your brain's way of trying to protect you. Unfortunately, we sometimes can have some irrational fears. Only you know what your source of your fear is. Let's take, for instance, turbulence. Some people fear turbulence. And turbulence is basically when the plane will hit some air currents that will make the plane bounce a little, right? Sort of like when you go over bumps in a car. And here's some homework for you to do. The next time you're in a car as a passenger, close your eyes. Pay attention to how much your car moves over the road, especially when you're going over some bumps. A plane is generally way smoother than your car ride. Again, you will probably experience some bumps, turbulence, while flying, but it most likely will be very mild. The more you understand how modern planes work and how much training pilots receive, the more comfortable you will be when you're flying. If you've never flew before, I would recommend taking a short trip for your first flight. This will get you acquainted on air travel and what to expect during takeoff and landing. If you do have a more severe fear of flying, you might consider seeking therapy to help you overcome this fear. Again, only you know what is the root of your fear. Despite having some fears, flying remains one of the safest modes of transportation. So here are some practical steps to help you overcome the fear of flying. Educate yourself. Knowledge is definitely empowering. Learn how airplanes work and understand that turbulence, while somewhat uncomfortable, is rarely dangerous. Modern planes are built to withstand far more than the bumps you will feel. I also recommend visiting the airport. If you have never flown before, take a trip to the airport and watch other passengers and watch the planes take off and land. And it could be a way to get familiar with the process of flying. Learning how to breathe and relax, right? Deep breathing exercises can help reduce your anxiety. So I would look into that. Also, try to focus on your journey, focus on that destination, and try to visualize the joy and all the great experiences that you're going to have upon landing. It could be a family reunion, a dream vacation, whatever it is. Focus on the good that's going to come from taking that flight. If your fear is pretty severe, I would definitely talk to someone professional. Start out small. Consider starting with short flights to build that confidence before tackling a long journey. Another recommendation would be to have some tools for your comfort. I like to have noise-canceling headphones or AirPods, have some music that you can listen to or podcasts, right? There's definitely ways you can take your mind off of some things, right? Especially if it's a long flight, you want to keep yourself busy. You might be able to sleep, but a lot of people can't sleep on planes. So I would definitely have things to do. So listening to music, watching movies, right? Things to pass the time, reading a book. These are all great things, or listening to a book. I've flown a decent amount, and most of my experiences have been great. There have been a few times where I experienced some severe turbulence, but nothing that prevented me from getting on a flight again. I encourage you to share your own experiences in the comment sections if you've had positive experiences or you are scared and trying to overcome those fears. It's something that we have to work on. Again, it's part of growth. Thanks for watching.